Alright guys, I'm sure that everybody has pretty much heard everything there is to hear about Dustborn by now. If you're like the one person on the planet who hasn't heard about Dustborn, consider yourself lucky, because it was just this woke slop game that was basically funded by US taxpayer dollars as well as the Norwegian government in an attempt to create this anti-disinformation game, which was nothing more than every cringe, DEI, woke stereotype you could possibly cram into one game, and it was just basically like a commentary on anti-fascism in an alternate universe in the United States, essentially. So, it was just a complete mess of a game. And of course, people have mocked it for the injection of, modern day politics and wokeness and all these weird allegories that they were trying to, create with the game. But the reality is there's a reason that we're seeing funding go to these games. Now, recently, a lot of people, I know Veridark did a video on this, Smash JT had an article come out today about this, about how the US government is now subsidizing a propaganda pushing game called Cat Park. Now, if you thought for a second that Dustborn was bad, wait till you get a load of Cat Park. So let's go ahead and play the trailer for a second just to give you an idea what this game is all about.
This is Cat Park, an exciting new game to improve media literacy. As players unravel the curious case of the cat park, they learn about emotional headlines, manipulative memes, fake images, and more. All concerning a crazy conspiracy about cats.
Now, isn't that funny timing as far as conspiracies about cats go? I don't know if you're paying attention to what's going on with all the stuff with the migrants and all that, but it's a very interesting foreshadowing that when they made this game, they had this conspiracy about cats.
Cat Park is the result of multiple studies into inoculation theory by the University of Cambridge. Serious games against disinformation have been scientifically proven to improve recognition of disinformation by 21%. Unlike other methods like debunking by fact-checking, games are fun, interactive, and actively build the skill to recognize disinformation. Use Cat Park to raise awareness, start conversations, and defend communities against online propaganda. Check out the info sheet for educators on the game's website for more ideas. Available meow for free at catpark.game. The truth has whiskers.
Now, if this hasn't already given you like creepy vibes of like some sort of dystopian nightmare that we're living in, just wait till you learn about the developer, a company called Tilt Studio. And their description of Cat Park says, in Cat Park, your city is building a park just for cats. Your goal is, of course, to stop that from happening, because who would want a park just for cats? Using disinformation tactics like emotional language and polarization, you turn the public against the park. Cat Park is based on active inoculation theory pioneered by the University of Cambridge Social Decision-Making Lab. That entire first sentence is terrifying. Based on active inoculation theory by a social decision-making lab. Much as vaccinations work by exposing subjects to an innocuous strain of a virus in order to trigger an immune response, empirical studies indicate that the controlled experience of disinformation through a game can build cognitive resistance to disinformation in the real world. This concept is also known as pre-bunking. Rather than simply waiting for lies to spread and then debunking them with a fact check, the goal of Cat Park is to proactively educate about common disinformation techniques so that players are better prepared to spot fake news no matter what form it takes. My God. Honestly, I know some people might be like, well, what's wrong with this? But if you start paying attention to these buzzwords that are in here, the amount of times that your mainstream media has been wrong about so many things or blatantly lied about certain subjects, and then you realize these are the same terminology, the same buzzwords that they have used over the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, it's absolutely terrifying. In a survey analysis of the game's efficacy conducted by the University of Cambridge, researchers found that individuals who play Cat Park are 19 percentage points more likely than a control group to spot disinformation and 15 percentage points less likely to want to share disinformation. So it's training you. It's basically social conditioning. It's engineering. And again, Tilt's website says, made to inspire, backed by science, our tools and games get you up to speed with the latest in disinformation tactics and manipulation strategies. The solution to disinformation is not so much about fact-checking, but about building people's skills and resilience. Tilt specializes in innovative products and services that help people recognize and deal with online manipulation more effectively with less effort. And then, of course, they go into hate speech, which is a fun topic, fun subject for those of us who are sick and tired of hearing how everything is hate speech. Our hate speech detection solution automates the detection of hateful speech online, enabling you to tackle hate speech head on. And of course, if you look at their solutions, they've got one saying, preventing radicalization increases resilience against recruitment by extremists. Hate speech detection, tackling hate speech online, reducing real-world harm. Let's see, here's another one. Workshops to build resilience against disinformation, polarization, and radicalization. Bad News, our notorious game that addresses the issue of online misinformation. And here's my favorite. Go Viral. This game shows you how to spot coronavirus misinformation in 5 minutes. Imagine in 2024, after everything society has lived through, creating a game just to tackle coronavirus misinformation, as they call it. Pretty terrifying. And of course, if you look at because it's a browser-based game, if you go to the if you go to the website for Cat Park and you go to About This Game, it's just the description alone should be terrifying enough. The game's about disinformation. You've recently moved to a new city and you receive a mysterious message to join a group campaigning against a new park for cats. Your job is to turn the public against the park using common disinformation techniques. The game simulates the tactics and techniques of media manipulation that are used in the real world to exploit social tensions for personal or political gains. Cat Park works as a psychological vaccine against disinformation. Playing the game builds cognitive resistance against forms of manipulation that you may encounter online. Yeah. So again, they even have like a toolkit that you can go through. And the funniest thing is not just the toolkit itself, because again, a lot of the same information's in here. But when you look at like the characters in this game, once again, it is just nothing but a diverse and inclusive cast of characters, including of which you have the woman with the eye patch, the guy who looks like maybe he's Indian, the black girl with the pink dreadlocks, the white girl with the sunglasses. Like everything about this just screams diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now again, Tilt is a Dutch media studio, and they are the ones who developed this game. Tilt, essentially all they do is create games for governments. Their entire purpose, going back since 2021 I believe, is to help the Technology Engagement Division of the U.S. State Department to create these games to, quote, defend against foreign disinformation and propaganda by transitioning technologies from concept to application at a scale and in support of smart policies and operations. So again, your government here in the U.S. is trying to condition the way you think. Craziest thing is another game from Tilt is Harmony Square. You want to know about Harmony Square? This one's great. Hang on a second. Let me find the About section. Harmony Square is a game about fake news. The game's setting is the idyllic Harmony Square, a small neighborhood mildly obsessed with democracy. You, the player, are hired as a chief disinformation officer. Over the course of 4 short levels, your job is to disturb the square's peace and quiet by fomenting internal divisions and pitting its residents against each other. The goal of the game is to expose the tactics and manipulation techniques that are used to mislead people, build up a following, or exploit societal tensions for political purposes. Harmony Square works as a psychological, quote, vaccine, again, same terminology they used before, against disinformation. Playing it builds cognitive resistance against common forms of manipulation they may encounter online. Absolutely terrifying that we've gone from Dustborn being bad enough because of the amount of like woke agenda and policy that was crammed into that game to where we now have governments funding actual anti-disinformation games like Cat Park, which are supposed to serve as a, quote, inoculation against misinformation. So let me know what you guys think about all this. I'll be streaming in a few minutes playing some more Black Myth Wukong. Share your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think about all this craziness, and I will catch you guys later. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.